There's something most of us spend our lives chasing without even realizing it. Control. Control over our future. Control over how people see us. Control over our circumstances. Control over the direction of our lives. We make plans. We build schedules. We try to anticipate every possible outcome. And deep down, we convince ourselves that if we can just control enough things, life will finally feel stable, safe, predictable. But if you live long enough, you probably notice something. Life doesn't always follow the plans we make. Sometimes relationships fall apart. Sometimes doors close unexpectedly. Sometimes the future we imagine disappears overnight. And in those moments, we come face to face with a difficult truth. We were never truly in control. And the Bible speaks directly to this human struggle. In James 4:13-14, Scripture says, "Now listen, you who say, 'Today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money.' Why, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow." Think about that. Most of us spend enormous energy trying to control a future we cannot even see. The desire for control comes from something very human: fear. When we feel uncertain, we try to tighten our grip on life. We want guarantees. We want predictability. We want to know that everything will work out exactly the way we planned. But the truth is, control often becomes a heavy burden, because the more we try to control life, the more we begin to realize how little we can actually control about us. What tomorrow will bring, whether our plans will succeed, whether circumstances will suddenly change. And when life moves in directions we didn't expect, it can make us feel powerless. But Scripture reminds us of something important. In Proverbs 16:9, it says, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." We can make plans, but ultimately, God is the one guiding the path. Trying to control everything is exhausting. You constantly analyze situations. You worry about outcomes. You replay conversations in your head. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You try to fix things that are outside your power. And slowly, the weight begins to grow heavier. Jesus addressed this exact struggle when he spoke about worry. In Matthew 6:27, he asked a simple but powerful question: "Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?" The answer, of course, is no. Worry does not change the future. It only drains the present. Yet many of us carry worry as if it were responsibility. We believe that if we worry enough, prepare enough, control enough, we can somehow prevent life from surprising us. But the truth is this: control often creates the very anxiety we are trying to avoid. The Bible is full of stories about people who had to surrender control. Abraham was asked by God to leave everything familiar and walk into an unknown future. He didn't know where the road would lead. He only knew that God was guiding him. Joseph experienced a life that completely shattered his expectations. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into prison. Nothing about Joseph's life followed the path he likely imagined. Yet years later, he realized something powerful. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Even in the moments where life felt completely out of control, God was still working behind the scenes. And the same pattern appears again and again throughout Scripture. People lose control, but God never does. One of the most powerful moments of surrender in the Bible happens in the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus knew what was coming: the suffering, the betrayal, the cross. And in that moment of intense emotional weight, he prayed something incredibly honest. In Luke 22:42, Jesus said, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." Those words captured the heart of surrender. Not my will, but yours. Even Jesus, in his humanity, felt the weight of what was ahead, yet he trusted the Father's plans more than his own comfort. That level of trust is something most of us struggle to reach, but it reveals something powerful about faith. Faith is not about controlling life. Faith is about trusting God with the parts of life we cannot control. There comes a moment in many people's lives where they realize something important. Trying to control everything isn't working. It's not bringing peace. It's not creating certainty. It's only creating stress. And slowly they begin to understand the beauty of surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It's trust. Trust that God sees the bigger picture. Trust that he understands the future better than he do. Trust that even when life feels uncertain, he is still guiding the path. This is why Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." Notice what the verse doesn't say. It doesn't say we must understand everything. It simply says we must trust. Control is something many of us hold on to tightly. We believe it protects us. We believe it keeps life stable. But sometimes the greatest freedom comes from opening our hands and letting go. Letting go of the need to control every outcome. Letting go of the fear of the unknown. Letting go of the illusion that everything depends on us. Because the truth is this: God has always been in control, even in the moments where life felt chaotic, even in the seasons where the future felt uncertain, even in the chapters where nothing made sense. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Sometimes the most powerful step we can take in life is simply being still and trusting the one who already sees the road ahead. Because when we stop trying to control everything, we finally make space for God to lead.